Now, in this video, we will going to discuss about how to write a program by using Python language for the addition of two matrices. So here, the matrices will going to be entered by giving the user input. That means the user will going to enter the number of rows and number of columns and also the elements for both the matrices A and B, and then by adding these two matrices, what will going to be the result? That is what we need to do it. So to do that, first we'll go for the coding. So what is the coding here? The coding is, first m will be equal to int input enter the row number m. So basically, because in Python programming, it will going to consider everything as a string. So to convert that, we are going to use the int. So then n will be equal to int input enter the column number, which is n. So by using the list comprehension method, we will going to add the by enter the input of the matrices. So A will be equal to int input enter the next element of the matrix A. For I in the range, so it will be going to start with the column first and then it comes to the row. So here for I in range n and for j in range m. So this is basically, it starts from the column and then it will go to be incremented to m. That is the row. So first we are going to have the print matrix A. So we are going to enter into the loop for I in range m and for j in range n. This is the nested for loop, wherein we are going to have a print format, wherein in the print format A of ij is within the quotes less than 6. So this is basically between the two elements what should be the spacing. If you don't give this, then it will going to be entered continuously, and then after that you will going to have the end of this. Because why? Basically because the matrices will going to have the systematic arrangement of elements in rows and columns. So as we enter the end of one particular row, then it has to go to the end and it has to stop, wherein the cursor will be in the same row at the last, and then print. If you give this, what happens? That cursor will going to come to the next line, that is for the second row. So similarly, by using the list comprehension method, we will going to enter the second matrix, that is B. int input enter the next elements of the matrix B. Similarly, again for I in the range n and for j in the range m. So print matrix B again for I in the range m colon, for I in the range n again colon. So print format B of ij comma, which is within the quotes less than or equal to less than 6, and n will going to be the next line. So to go to the next line, we'll go for print then result. So once we enter the matrices of both A and B, then what will going to be the result? The result will going to be created with a 0 list, wherein 0 for I in range n and for j in range m. So here again it will enters with the column and then with the row. So this is by the list comprehension method. So here for I in the range m and for j in the range n, so what will going to be the result? The result will be equal to, result of ij will be equal to A of ij plus B of ij. That is the considering the rows and column of the matrix A and the rows and column of the matrix B. That means if I consider 0th row, 0th column of the matrix A added with the 0th row and 0th column of the matrix B. This will going to be explained in detail when we are going to take up the tracing part. Then here print the results of addition of two matrices, again for I in the range m and for j in the range n. Print format the result of ij within quotes less than 6, that is the spacing between the two elements, and n will be equal to within the double quotes and then the print, which goes to the next line. And so we will going to see the output after we will going to enter the code. Now first we will go for entering the code. So to enter the code, we will go to the Python programming, where here I will going to enter m equals int input enter the row number, which is capital M, and then n equals int input, enter the column number, which is again capital N, and of course this is the format which you can we can enter in the format whatever the way we want. Then we have A equals double square, then you go for int input, enter the next element. So here we have enter the next element of matrix A, then for I A, then we have input for I in range. So for I in range, first it should start with the column number, so you go to take for n, then you come out of this. Then for j in range M, then we enter into the next line, enter the next element of matrix A. Then this is by using the list comprehension method. Now we will go for print matrix A. Once you enter, the manner in which the matrix will be entered is for I in range M, semicolon, for j in range n. In Python programming, we always should have the indentation. That will be the one which will going to be the criteria here. Format, then A of ij, then comma, then double quotes less than 6, then comes out of this, then you say end equals double within the double quotes. Then once you have the print format, you come down to print, it will go to the next line. That is the output, how it will go into print. Then we have print. You go to the next one, you take this, copy this entire thing, Control C, then come down to this and you type here Control V. So here you make it capital B. So, and then this will going to be B. Then we again you take this, again you take the print of the matrix B. So print, you take this entire thing and copy this here. So print matrix B, then for I in the range M, N, you take this as small b, print the matrix B. Once you do that, then we will going to come to the result. So in the result, what we will going to have is you take this again B. So you take this Control C and then come down to this and you Control V, you type B, you type result equals, so here it will be 0. You take this as 0 because wherein you will going to get that as the 0 for I in range N and for J in range M. So this is basically, it will going to create an empty list wherein the results will going to be whatever the sum of Aij, Ai or Aij plus Bij, which will going to be stored in that result. Now again we want to have this, you take this for I in range, so you come down to this for you take for I in control C, you take this, and for I in the range M and the range N, you will not going to get this present. Now first we need to add the two matrices now. So to do that, you just go to result of Ij, result of Ij, okay, that will be equal to the sum of the individual matrices of Aij and plus B of Ij. So whatever you get that, so that will going to be stored in the result. Then you have the print result of addition of two matrices, result of addition of two matrices. Of course you can type whichever way you want, so you just type that. Then for I in the range M, you take this, then you go to control C and you come down to this and you type for I in the range M, for J in the range N, print format here B of Ij, no, it should be result of Ij, result of Ij slash 6-6 and is equal to, and then the print format. So this is how we will be able to write this program, and for this I will go to save and I will try to save by some number. I will going to save this. Now we will going to try to execute this. To do that, you just go to run without debugging, and then we are going to see the result now. So what is the once you execute, you will see here enter the row number. The row number is 4. I will try to enter 4. The result, enter the column number is 4. Then enter the matrix for the element of the matrix. So I am going to enter 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150 and 160. So this is how you will going to get the elements of the matrix A, which is 10, 20, 30, 40. Once you get this, then again 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120 and 130, 140, 150 and 160. So similarly, we want to enter the elements of the matrix B. Again, I am going to take the same number of elements, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150 and 160. So once you get this, the addition of these two numbers, that is 10 plus 10 becomes 20. So that is A of 0, 0 plus B of 0, 0 will be equal to the result of 0, 0, 0. That means 10 plus 10 will becomes 20 and 20 plus 20 becomes 40, 30 plus 30 becomes 60 and 40 plus 40 becomes 80. And similarly 50 plus 50, 100, 60 plus 60, 120, 70 plus 70, 140, 80 plus 80, 160 and so on. And finally you can see 160 plus 160, it will going to become 320. So this is how the addition of the two matrices will going to take place. Now if you want to see how the execution will going to take place by individually, so suppose that means I want to go by individual block method. So I will going to use a block here. So I will just go to run, start with debugging. So by Python file. So now we will going to enter with the matrices now. So here we can see how it will going to execute now. So first we will go for the enter the number of rows. I will going to take, for example, I will again take 4. Enter the number of elements. I will going to take the number of columns. Column number 4. That is I am entering 4 by 4 matrix. Now you see A is equal to I and P input, enter the elements of the matrix. You can see here the special variables M is equal to 4 and N is equal to 4 it has taken. And then when it executes, so now it has into the iterator object. So here we can see enter the elements of the matrix for I in the range N and for J in the range N. So now for I in the range N and for J is in the range M. So then you just go to the step information. So as you see here, enter the next elements of the matrix. Once it is asking, so I will go to 10, enter 10. So I has taken as 0. So and J has taken as 0. Then it goes to the enter the second element of the matrix 20. Then I has become 1. Then 30. Then I is equal to 2, 40. So here actually J will be 0 and then I will be 3. So because it starts with the column and then it comes to the row. So here the J is the row and I is the column here in this case. Now once you take that, so it comes to I is equal to 3. So now you can see the first elements of the list 10, 20, 30, 40 has been entered into this A. Now we go for the second element. J is equal to 0 is over. Now we go for the next element. So you can see enter the element of the matrix A. I will say 50. Similarly 60. So similarly 70. And then you take 80. So once you do that, so I is equal to 3. It becomes J is equal to 1 now. So this has been entered into J is equal to 1. So then again you can see again it goes to the iteration. Then it comes to enter the elements of the matrix 90. Then this is how the list comprehension method will going to work. Similarly 110. So here 120. So this becomes J is equal to 2 now. So it will be entered in J is equal to 2. Then we will going to have again enter the elements of the matrix 130. Then we have 140. Then we have 150. Then we have 160. So you can see all the elements have been entered. So this will be entered into J is equal to 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3 is over. Then it will comes out of this loop now. List comprehension method. It will comes out now. You can see the return of the list. It will going to have 10, 20, 30, 40. That is J is equal to 0. Then 50, 60, 70, 80. J is equal to 1. 90, 100, 110, 120. J is equal to 2. And 130, 140, 150, 160. J is equal to 3. So it is in the range means 0 to now when we are entered 4, M is equal to 4, it will be taken as 0 to 4. So 4 means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3 because it starts from the element 0. So since it is in the 0, so it comes to 3, the total will going to become 4. That is N minus 1. Now once we are entered this, then it has to come out of this loop. So then it need to print the matrix A now. So once you want to know, you can see the print the matrix A. So here for I in the range M is equal to 4. So then you can see here, you can see I is equal to 0. So because M initially starts with 0 and then N is also start with 0 because 4. So it enters into the print format. So what it does is it will take A of 0, 0. What is A of 0, 0? A of 0, 0 is 10. So now it will going to enter that element here. Now you can see enter the element matrix P less than 6. It is because the space between this element to the next element will going to be 6 spaces. Then it will goes to this range N. So here I is equal to 0, J is equal to 0. Now it will be incremented J value by 1. So A of 0, 1, it will going to become 20 now. You can see 20 and it skips to the next element, which is because of this. Again it goes into the inner loop only. Then J is equal to 2. Then it will enter A of 0, 2, which will going to be 30. Then again range of 0, then it will going to take the value of J as 3. So it becomes A of 0, 3, which becomes 40. So still you are in the same line. That is because due to this end is equal to within the double quotes. So it will be end of this line. Once it comes to that, now you can see it comes to this print. So if once it comes to the print, so then what happens? This cursor will go to the next line. You can see here. So the cursor will go to the next line. Then it is incremented with 1. So I will becomes 1 now. You can see here I will become 1. And then when it comes to j, it becomes 0. So again it goes to the same loop. So a of 1 0 now it is 50. Then a of 1 1 is 60. Then a of 1 2 will become 70. A of 1 3 will become I3. You can see here 3, which is going to become 80. Then it goes to the print. It comes to next line. Again it goes to the increment of I will be equal to 1 plus 1, it becomes 2. Then j will be 0. Then 2 of 0. A of 2 of 0 will be equal to 90. A of 2 1 will be equal to 100. A of 2 1 2 2 will be equal to 120 and 110. You can say A of 2 2. I is 2, j is 2, so it becomes 110. So then A of 2 3 will going to become 120. So you can see here 1 2 3. Then it will be in the same line. So it has to come to this print. So once it goes out of this, because once it takes the increment by 4, 3 plus 1 it becomes 4. The range is from 0 to 4. So once it takes the increment to 4, then it becomes the fifth element. But here the fifth element you are not given. So because it is from 0 to that is 1 2 3 4, you have only 4 elements. Once it is incremented to 4, then it becomes fifth element. So it goes out of range. So it will go to the next line. So it comes out of this loop. Then it goes to the print. A print that means it goes to the next line. Again it increments the value of I by 1. That means I is equal to 3 and j is equal to 0. Then a of 3 0 will be 130. A of 3 1 will going to become 140. A of 3 2 will become 150. And A of 3 3 will going to become 160. Once it comes to the print, so it goes to the next line. Then it is incremented with the value of m by 4. Is 4 is going out of range, so it comes out of this loop and then enter into the second matrix. So here again, since this is the same the repetition of the list comprehension method, now we will go directly into this. Enter the elements of the matrix B 10. So I will going to take 20. Then we will going to take 30. Then we will going to take 40. Then again we will going to have enter the element of the matrix B 50. Then 60. Then we have 70. Then we have 80. Then we have 90. Then we have 100. Of course, this has been already explained in detail in the matrix of A, how we are entering by the list comprehension method. So now we go for element of the matrix B 130, 140, 150 and then 160. Now once you do that, so we are coming out of this and then we want to enter into the matrix B. You can see the value of A which has been there and also the value of B which we have entered. So we are finally entering in the matrix format. So to do that, I will go for the matrix B. So you can see first the value of B of 0 0, B of 0 1, B of 0 2, B of 0 3. You can see here 0 3 and then it goes to the print. It comes to the next line. Then it increments the value of I as 1. So j as 0. 1 0 is 50. 1 1 is 60. 1 2 is 70. 1 3, you can see 1 3 as 80 and it goes to the next line. Then I is incremented with 1 2. So 2 j is 0. 2 0 is 90. 2 1 is 100. 2 2 is 110. 2 3 is 120. It goes to the next line and then it goes to 3. J is 0. 3 0 is 130. 3 1 is 140. 3 2 is 150 and 3 3 is 160. So once you enter that, then it goes to the result. In the result, what it happens is, again, it goes to the dummy matrix. It is going to create the 0 matrix. You can see I 0 1 2. So it creates the 1 matrix here. Then again it goes to the second iteration. So it creates 2. So you can see here it comes with 2. So see how it will going to consider now. So once finally it becomes the resultant of the matrix B, A, B and C. So you can see here we have the 4 zeros. So that means all the dummy values have been created for the result. Now we need to calculate the values. To calculate the values, so this will going to be updated one by one. You can see. So result. So once it takes the value of I is 0, J is 0. So then it is result of 0 0 will going to be A 0 0 plus B 0 0. So what is A 0 0? That is 10, and this 10 it will add and it comes to this. You can see now here. So it becomes 10t here now. Then again 0 1 0 1. That is 0 1. A of 0 1. A of 0 1 is 20. And A of 02 is B of 02 is 20. So 20 plus becomes 40. Then again A of 03, that is 30 plus 30, it becomes 60. So you can see that is uploaded here. Then 40 plus 40, it becomes 80. So first list has been over, and here you can see the value of I is equal to 0 and the value of J is equal to 3. So once it goes to that, then it will going to be incremented by 1. So once it is incremented by 1, so you can see I becomes 1 and J is equal to 0. So 1 0, which is 1 0, that is 1 is this, 0 is this. So 1 0, that means 50 plus 50 becomes 100. Then 60 plus 60 becomes 120. 70 plus 70, it becomes 140. Then 80 plus 80, it becomes 160. Now you can see here 160. Similarly, you keep on doing that. So it keeps on incrementing in the loop as we see here, and it goes to the next one, and you can see in the result, you can see 180, 200, 220, 240. Then again it goes to this value J is equal to 3 and J is equal to 0. So it comes to this. So it will going to take the value of 130 plus 130, it becomes 260. So you can see it keeps on incrementing. Then it finally comes out of this. So you can see in the result you're going to have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So this is I is equal to 0. And then we have 100, 120, 140, 160. That is the second one. Then 180 or 200, 220, 240. That is the third one. And 260, 280, 300 and 320. That is the third one. That is the fourth one. So now we want to find the result of the addition of two matrices. So it should be entered. So this is going to be in the listed format. So now I want to convert this into the printed format of the matrix. So the resultant of this matrix, the addition of two matrices will be how it will going to be. So result of 0 0, it becomes 1, that is 20. Result of 0 1 will going to become 40. Result of 0 2 is 60. Result of 0 3 is 80. Then it comes to the print, it comes to the next line. Then 1 0 will be 40, that is 100. 1 1 will be 120. 1 2 will going to be 140. 1 3 will going to be 160. Then it comes to the print, goes to the next line. 2 0 will going to be 180. 2 1 will be equal to 200. 2 2 will be equal to 220, and 2 3 will going to be 240. Then it goes to the next line. Then again you can see 2 3 0 is 260. 3 1 will going to be 280, and 3 2 will be equal to 300, and 3 3 will going to be 320. So once it comes out of the print, so it goes to the next line. it comes out of the loop, and finally it will going to be executed with this. So this is how you will be able to execute this program by using the Python language. Now we will go to the output, which will going to be in the similar fashion. So now I'll go to the slideshow and then go from the current slide. Now you can see that is what we have shown here, how it will going to be executed. The manner in which we have been able to do it by using the Python programming, by debugging from the step by step, the same way what we have shown here. Enter the elements of the matrix A, 10, 20, 30, 40. So the elements have been entered for the first slit, which is equal to I is equal to 0. Then 50, 60, 70, 80. Then 50, 60, 70, 80 is been entered into the list. Then 90, 100, 110 and 120. It will be 90, 100, 110, 120. Elements of the matrix A, which is 130, 140, 150. I'm entering the elements one by one. So this is how it will going to be executed. So finally the list A, which has been shown there by using the Python language, is also the same as what we have entered here. Then for I in the range M, this is the printed format. M is, it will take the value of M is equal to 4. That means the range is 0 to 4 means 0 to 3, because totally it will going to be 4 elements, 0, 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Similarly, N is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 elements. For I is equal to 0, J is equal to 0. The format is A00, so it will read the value of 10. Then similarly, J is incremented with 1, so 0 plus 1 becomes 1, A01 will be 20. J is incremented with 1 plus 1, it becomes 2. Then A02 will be 30, 2 plus 1 it becomes 3, A03, so 3 plus 1 it becomes 4. Since now you are trying to enter the fifth element, so it is going out of range, so it comes out of the inner loop, and then it increments the value of I by 1. So it cursor, which is go to the next line, that part we have seen there. Then this is the print matrix what we are trying to enter. So print matrix, so the first element which has been entered, I is equal to 0, J is equal to 0. So 0, 0 is 10, 0, 1 is 20, 0, 2 is 30 and 0, 3 is 40. So this is how it will going to be entered for the matrix. So then it will going to be incremented with 1. So 0 plus 1 becomes 1, I is equal to 1, J is equal to 0. So A10 is 50. J1, that is A11 is 60. J is incremented again, 1 plus 1 becomes 2. A12 is equal to 70. J is equal to 2 plus 1, it becomes 3. So A13 will be equal to 80. So J3 plus 1 is, it comes out of the inner loop, and print, the cursor goes to the next line. So you are saying that you have I is equal to 1, J is equal to 0. So this is how it will going to be entered the second list. So when the comprehension, when you take this entire thing, so you can see 50, 60, 70, 80. Then I is incremented with 1 plus 1, it becomes 2. Then J will be 0, A20 is 90. So J1, A21 is 100, A22 is 110, A23 is 120. It comes out of the inner loop, and again print. It goes to the next line. So this is how it will going to be entered for the second list. And then the I is equal to 2. So this will going to be the value in which it enters the matrix. You can see here. So similarly, when you go to the I is equal to 2 plus 1, 3, J is equal to 0, 130. Then A31 is 140, A32 is 150, and A33 is 160. And 3 plus 1, it comes out of the inner loop, and print goes cursor, go to the next line. And I will be 3 plus 1, it becomes 4. It comes out even from the outer loop also. Then finally, you will going to get the matrix of the matrix A. So similarly, we have for the input of the next element of the matrix B. So just I am entering the same way in the similar fashion what we have been already explained. And then it comes to the second loop. So you can see here 50, 60, 70, 80. And the next element is 90, 100, 120. And then 130, 140, 150, 160. They've consolidated the entire thing of the matrix B will also be having the same thing. Then for I in the range M, so this is the format in which the B matrix will going to be printed. So you can see this is how it will going to be executed the same similar fashion what we have explained for the matrix A. The same way it will going to be executed here also. So you can see then 50, 60, 70, 80. So the second list. Then it comes to the third one, 90, 100, 110, 120. So it comes to this. Then matrix B is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So then 130, 140, 150, 160. So this is the matrix P. Now it comes out of the outer loop. Then result matrix. So once you enter in the range n, again you can see in the list comprehensive method, first it will go to take the column, then it comes to the rows. So n and m, I and j. So this will going to be the empty list of the result. So again m and n a of ij. So what it does, I is equal to 0, j is equal to 0. Result of 0, 0 will be a00 plus b00. a00 is 10 plus b00 is 10. 10 plus 10 it becomes 20. Similarly, 01 is equal to a01 plus b01. 0th row first column, 0th row first column. That means 0th row second column, because it starts from 0 in the column wise also. So it becomes the second column. So 20 plus 20 becomes 40. Result of 02, that is the third column, 0th row, 02, 0 plus 02. So 30 plus 30 becomes 60. The result is 03 plus is equal to a03 plus b03, it becomes 40. So j is equal to 3 plus 1, it comes out of the loop, and then inner loop, and I is equal to 1, j is equal to 0, 10 will be a10 plus b10, 50 plus 50 becomes 100. Then a11 plus b11, 60 plus 60 is 120, a12 plus b12 is 70 plus 70 is 140. Result of 13 will be equal to a13 plus b13, 80 plus 80 is equal to 160. J is equal to 3 plus 1, it becomes 4, it comes out of the inner loop. Similarly, you can consider for I is incremented 1, j is equal to 0. Result of 20 is a20 plus b20, 90 plus 90 becomes 180. So then again 21 plus 21 will going to become 200. A22 plus B22 will be 110 plus 110 becomes 220. A23 plus B23 will be 120 plus 120 is equal to 240. It comes out of the inner loop. Again, it is incremented by 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. J is equal to 0. Result of 30 is A30 plus B30 is equal to 130 plus 130. It becomes 260. 31 is equal to A31 plus B31, which is 140 plus 140, 280. J is equal to 1 plus 1, it becomes 2. Result of 32 will be equal to A32 plus B32, which will be 150 plus 150 is 300. Result of 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. Result of 33 will be equal to A33 plus B33, 160 plus 160 is 320. So then 3 plus 1, it comes out of the inner loop, and again finally it comes out of the outer loop also. So the result of addition of two matrices will be m is equal to 4, n is equal to 4. Then printing the matrix now, result of 00 is 20, 01 is 40, 02 is 60, 03 is 80. So it comes out of the inner loop. The cursor goes to the next line. The first it goes to the next line. So 10, it should be I is equal to 10 to 100. 11 is 120, 12 is 140, 13 is 160. It comes out of the inner loop. It goes to the next line. You can see the result is 20, 40, 60 plus 80. Then 100, 120, 140 plus 160. Then in the second print format, it is 1 plus 1. It becomes 2 is equal to 0. 2 of 0 is 180. 2 of 1 is 200. 2 of 2 is 220. 2 of 3 is 240, and it comes out of the inner loop. So this is how you can see I is equal to 2 and j is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. So this is a 180, 200, 220, 240. So 2 plus 1, it becomes 3. It should be 3. It is not 2 here. J is equal to 0. Result of 30. So 260, 280, 300 and 320. So it comes out of the loop, and I is equal to 3 plus 1. It becomes 4. It comes out of the outer loop also. The final result will going to be 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 180, 200, 220, 240, and 260, 280, 300, and 320. So the final addition of two matrices is going to be the final result. So this is how you will be able to execute addition of the two matrices by giving the user input for the 4 by 4 matrix. Thank you.